it's Mark, and this is going to be a short one. I'm not wandering right now, so there shouldn't be too much shaking in the background. I wanted to talk a little bit about how social media is going to be changing and evolving in the next couple of years. There's a couple of major features that users want, and they're going to get them. And here's why. Just like the internet, you really can't bottle social media. And Dave has tapped into this a little bit by saying that Twitter can't really control real-time stream. I think he's right. I think Twitter would be wise to recognize this. Essentially what's going to be happening is people are going to have a decentralized system of communication for real-time conversations. I sort of already see a way to set this up, but I don't know the technical details of how to do it. There's a WordPress blog plugin I know called P2. Anybody who hosts a site can set up a P2 blog, and I think there's a way to connect P2 blogs so you could have a remote, integrated, decentralized social media system that's global and completely open, unfortunately, at this point. So if you want to have a private community, you wouldn't be able to do it with that. But as far as public social media goes, people want data that they can take out of the system. They want their streams to be theirs. They want to own them. And they don't want to have to worry about connecting to 12 different systems that contain the same information about them. They don't want to have to worry about updating their status on 12 different systems. What you'll want to have is different communication networks. So you want to have a private network for your friends. You want to have, or maybe a public network for your friends, but you want to have a separate list for people that you socialize with in real life and connect to. You want to have a list of, that you get in order to publish or broadcast to fans. You might have different topical lists if you're interested in artificial intelligence or the democratization of the web. You probably have different lists for those as well. And all these hubs aren't owned by a company outside of you. They're owned by everybody that's involved in that community. And this is something that I don't know if most social media companies get yet. The people own the community, not the system that's the platform. The platform, it's going to happen either way. It's going to develop, and it's going to be separate hubs are going to control information flow, and they're going to be able to communicate and pass information in real time all around the web. And I think that businesses and companies that realize this, they'll have an advantage because, hey, let's face it, if you understand that communities are owned by the community, you can start treating them like that. You can start treating them with the respect that somebody who owns the community data, the community information, the flow of information deserves, which is don't show them advertisements that are unrelated. Don't waste their times with weird logins and odd costs associated with them sharing content. Becoming part of these communities, it's an act of interest. It's an act of what personal interest or business interest, whatever it is. Engagement is on an individual level. If you want your entire company to get involved, let them all individually get involved. Let them, set up a little tag or something that says, "Hey, I represent, Apple, and I'm involved in social media." Not that Apple wants to do that anytime soon, but social media is not going to be owned by any one player. As much as Facebook wants to try to bottle the genie, it's not going to happen. It might start that way, and it did start that way in MySpace, and you see what's happening with MySpace now. I think unless anybody who gets into the social media provider field, I think one business or one company that gets that people are going to own their communities, not platforms, are going to get developers are going to go crazy with it because they'll know it'll be around forever. Something you can kind of rely on. Right now, as a sort of developer, if I write something for Twitter, I don't know if it's going to be around in 10 years or 5 years. I don't know if FriendFeed's going to be around in that many years because they're just, no matter how you slice it, they're their community forming tools that are owned by companies and corporations that are not that community. And I don't see how outside bodies can govern it. And I know Facebook was trying to have the user base vote on certain things, but what they really need is individual communities to set up their own rules for how they want to engage and how they want to do things. That's about it. Thanks. Bye.